Welcome back to our channel today. The 2026 BMW M9 arrives in the collective imagination as the sort of car that makes enthusiasts argue and designers sweat. A headline-grabbing statement of what BMW's M division might become when it pushes beyond familiarity and chases pure, uncompromising performance. Whether you treat the M9 as an audacious rumor, a viral design study, or the herald of a new halo model for BMW, the conversation it creates is as important as the machine itself. This is the kind of car that forces people to talk about engineering, style, and the future of high-performance luxury in the same breath. From the images and early reports that have circulated, the M9 reads like a supercar that learned how to wear a tuxedo. Its silhouette is low and wide, with proportions that suggest mid-engined balance rather than a traditional front-engine grand tourer. Surfaces are bold yet sculpted. Wide haunches, aggressive aero elements, and a front fascia that reinterprets BMW's signature grille into something luminous and modern. Inside, rumors point to a cockpit that blends driver-focused ergonomics with the sort of material richness long associated with BMW's flagship models: carbon fiber trims, Alcantara or merino leather, and a tech stack that keeps the driver connected without overwhelming the experience. These are the visual and sensory promises that make the M9 feel like a true halo car. Performance talk about the M9 is where myth and marketing often blur. Multiple outlets and speculative videos have suggested a hybridized powertrain at the heart of the car. A high-output internal combustion engine married to electric assistance, delivering figures that place the M9 firmly in supercar territory. Reported outputs vary across sources. Some point toward figures in the 760-850 horsepower range from a V8 hybrid setup. Others push the rumor mill higher, into triple-digit horsepower territory with claims of near or above 1,000 horsepower for concept-ish variants. Because these are early reports rather than factory releases, it's best to treat top-line numbers as directional rather than definitive. The headline is clear, though. BMW wants the M9 to be terrifyingly quick. Acceleration and dynamics are the parts of this car that would make purists giddy. Rumors circulating online propose 0-60 mph times that dip into the low twos, top speeds north of 200 mph, and chassis engineering that blends modern active aerodynamics with torque vectoring drive systems to give the M9 both stability and scalpel-like turn-in. If BMW marries a lightweight structure, extensive use of carbon fiber and high-strength alloys, with a hybrid system that places batteries and motors for ideal weight distribution, the result could be a car that feels both planted at speed and playfully alive on back-road curves. Whether the final product lives up to the fantasy remains to be seen, but the engineering approach being discussed is familiar to anyone who's watched supercar development evolve in the last decade. How BMW positions the M9 in its lineup matters as much as the raw numbers. BMW's M brand has long been the most powerful letter in the world. But the last few years have also introduced electrification and new market strategies into the equation. The M9, if it arrives as suggested, looks like a halo, a limited production statement that showcases technology and design that will cascade downwards into more accessible models. Reports even suggest limited run numbers, creating scarcity that increases desirability among collectors and wealthier customers desirous of something unique from BMW's stables. For the brand, the M9 functions not just as a vehicle, but as a marketing and engineering billboard, a way to demonstrate that electrified performance can still thrill. The sensory experience of the M9, how it sounds, how it accelerates, how it communicates feedback through seat and steering, is central to the car's appeal. Hybridization often risks diluting the oral drama of a high-revving combustion engine, but engineers have become adept at designing exhaust and synthetic soundscapes that supplement rather than replace the visceral soundtrack drivers crave. In the M9's case, the expectation is for a dual personality, a refined, quiet cruiser for long highway miles, and an animalistic, surge-laden beast when the throttle is opened and systems are set to attack. If BMW gets the interface right, crisp modes, intuitive drive selectors, and a cabin that clearly signals mechanical state, The car could be both brilliantly usable and spine-tingling in the right circumstances. Design. Critics and brand loyalists will inevitably scrutinize the M9 for how it balances BMW DNA with supercar theatrics. The challenge is to remain recognizably BMW while pushing forms, lighting, and proportions hard enough to create true visual drama. Early renderings show a willingness to experiment. Illuminated elements, razor-thin lighting signatures, and a rear-end treatment that looks engineered to communicate speed even at a standstill. The best Halo cars do more than just look fast. They create a new vocabulary for the marque, and they influence design language across the entire product range. If the M9 becomes that catalyst, its influence will be visible on future 8 Series M derivatives, and even concept EVs. Practical considerations remain. Pricing, availability, and maintenance will place the M9 firmly in the realm of affluent enthusiasts and collectors. Limited production runs, bespoke customization options, and the inevitable demand from global collectors mean that for most buyers, the M9 will remain aspirational rather than attainable. Yet that exclusivity is part of what makes Halo cars valuable. They create narrative, they deliver experiences that trickle down into more mainstream offerings, and they keep the brand culturally relevant. Whether you view the M9 as a siren of excess or a necessary technological demonstrator, it's a fascinating chapter in BMW's continuing story. At the end of the day, the 2026 BMW M9 is as much a conversation piece as it is a car. It stands at the intersection of rapid electrification, relentless performance development, and the evergreen desire for vehicles that stir emotion. For fans of BMW and lovers of high-end performance cars, the M9 promises, whether in rumor form or reality, a reminder that manufacturers are still willing to dream big. If the production car arrives close to the fevered speculation, it will be a benchmark for the era. A machine that dares to be both technologically forward and unmistakably, wonderfully dramatic. Until BMW issues the final specs and invites us for a drive, the M9 will continue to live in renderings, videos, and online forums. But perhaps that's fitting. The most exciting cars in history have always started as impossible ideas someone refused to abandon. If you want, I can turn this into a video script with timestamps, B-roll suggestions, and a short hook to open the video. Which tone would you prefer? Cinematic and dramatic, or technical and detail-focused?